You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 19th day of November, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. We do 2 live broadcasts every trading day. Now, the first one is private, members only, and those taking the 1-week free trial. If you haven't taken the 1-week free trial, when Michael comes on, he'll show you step by step how to do it. We'll get your indicators indicating today. Your trial will officially start tomorrow, but you don't lose any days because it will run all the way through next Monday. So you actually get 7 days instead of 5. The weekend doesn't count against you, and there are markets that trade over the weekend. Some markets never sleep. Now, the live trading room is from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. That's when we take our 30-minute break and come back for this broadcast, the afternoon broadcast, which is open to the public. Everybody, everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. Now, there's 2 different ways to join this afternoon broadcast live. I'm going to give you the best way first. You only got to do it once. Go to mytradingiq.com. Scroll down the page to where it says Noon Broadcast. Click the link, fill out the 30-second registration form, and you're done. It will log you into our platform that very day. But more importantly, going forward, every trading day, about an hour before this broadcast starts, you'll get an email. In the email, there will be a link. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. The benefit there is you have access to the question box, so you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Of course, there'll be days you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you still want to join live. And there'll be days when you're busy, you can't join live, but you want to catch up later. You can do both of those via our YouTube channel, which is very easy to remember. youtube.com/CFRN. That's the Christian Financial Radio Network. But you don't have to remember all that. You've already got the YouTube part memorized, so just remember /CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, as we're doing right now, simulcasting, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there are over 2,600 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. youtube.com/CFRN. And thanks to the power of YouTube, it's It's a great way to get to know who we really are and how we've evolved over the years. You can scroll back 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, even more. Not that you need to, and obviously you aren't going to listen or watch them all, but feel free to poke around and see how we got from where we were to where we are. Our schedule for the afternoon broadcast, we start with our daily devotional, word of prayer, some news, a recap of the logic alerts and the concierge trade alerts. Then about 50 minutes into the broadcast, Michael will join us, give us a recap of what happened this morning in the live training room. Then we'll do some live trading on the TradingView platform for 30 minutes. And then I'll wrap it all up with a good word for the day. We are on the final day of Average Joe. That's been our devotional topic for the past week. Average Joe was a football coach, a high school football coach in Bremerton, Washington. Nice place, been there. Now, Joe had made a promise to God that at the end of every game, win or lose, he was going to go midfield, kneel, and pray. Over time, without any coercion on his part, the players began to join him. So pretty soon, win or lose, the whole team was kneeling midfield and praying with Coach Joe. Now, this is a true life story. There's a book, there's a movie that was just released, and now I'm sad to say almost that we're on the final day of this devotional. If you missed the previous 6 days, you could always go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CFRN, and you can hear the whole thing. Just go back 6 days, listen to the beginning, jump to the next day, listen to the beginning. You get the idea. And by the way, while you're there on the YouTube channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button and the little bell. This way, anytime we go live, you'll be notified. And many times in the live training room, you'll hear Michael say, "Hey, Dwayne, I just recorded that trade." I take it and I upload it to YouTube. And if you're subscribed, it'll pop up on your phone. CFRN just uploaded a video. And all you got to do is click it, and you can watch it. It's a trade from start to finish. You'll hear Michael identify the trade, establish the entry price, the target price, and then you can see the live trade happen right before your eyes. And while anybody can enter a trade, all you got to do is click a mouse. It's how you manage the trade once you're in it that really matters. So, again, on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, tickle the little bell, and every time I upload one of those videos, you'll be notified. Okay, today's scripture, Matthew 5, verses 14 through 16. And I'm going to share it with you from the Message translation, so it may sound a little different than what you're used to. Starting in verse 14, here's another way to put it. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this. As public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand. Now that I've put you there on a hilltop, on a light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven. Again, Matthew 5, verses 14 through 16. So, day 7, our final day on this topic, a bright light. Now, that Bremerton court case went all the way to the Supreme Court, because every court on the way up said, no, you can't pray, you can't pray, you can't pray. When it got to the Supreme Court, they said, oh yeah, you can pray. So, a bright light. Joe Kennedy's journey highlights the true cost of discipleship. In following Jesus, Joe was willing to face personal and professional loss, reminding us of Jesus' call to take up our cross and follow him. That's in Luke 9:23. Joe's faith became a testimony to others, demonstrating the power of living out one's beliefs openly. The visibility of his actions sparked controversy, but it also inspired many who saw his courage and dedication. As Christians, we are called to let our light shine before others, not for recognition, but so that people may see God through us. Joe's willingness to stand firm in his faith provides a powerful example of how a simple act of prayer can have a ripple effect on those around us. James 1:22 says, do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Joe could have chosen the easy path, giving up his public prayers to keep his job and avoid conflict. However, his commitment to his faith would not allow him to do so. Joe's refusal to compromise on his beliefs reminds us of the importance of standing firm in our convictions, no matter the cost. His story is a powerful reminder that living with integrity often requires sacrifice, but it also brings honor to God. May we never forget the Apostle Paul's encouragement in Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Here's a couple things for you to reflect on. Or maybe you're a ponderer, so you can ponder while others reflect. Why is it important for Christians to not only talk about their faith, but also to live it out? I'm going to tell you why. Because what you say goes in one ear and out the other with most people. But when they know you're a Christian, they're going to put you under a microscope. And while they may not hear what you say, boy, they're going to watch what you do. And they're going to try to catch you not living the way you say you believe. Number 2, how can you maintain integrity in a world that often encourages compromise? And number 3, how do you handle situations where fear tries to overwhelm your faith? Ponder those and pray with me. Heavenly Father, we come before you inspired by the words of Jesus in Matthew 5 that tells us we are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Lord, we ask also that you would make our president and his cabinet beacons of light, reflecting wisdom, integrity, and humility. Protect them, guide them, and let their leadership shine with your truth and grace. We pray for a smooth and peaceful transition and confirmation process, that it may be marked by cooperation and respect. Our current president, Lord, has done something in the last few days that could bring us to the brink of war. We all grew up hearing about World War III, Lord, and we pray this isn't it. The incoming president has put out a message to the leaders of both Russia, Putin, and Ukraine, Zelensky, to call him. He wants to, even though he's not officially in office yet, and won't be till January 20th, he wants to assure them that none of us here in America, except maybe our current president, wants world war. And Lord, this cabinet, help them lead with a spirit that inspires hope, fosters unity, and upholds justice. Let their actions and decisions bring honor to you and serve the well-being of all people around the world. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, amen. Amen, and happy Tuesday. Let me give you the numbers here from around the world. We're going to start in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. The Dow is down 134 points. The Nasdaq's up 89, make that 90. S&P 500 is up 7, and the Russell 2000 up 6. So once again, with the mixed markets, we got 3 in the green, 1 in the red. We don't like that. They can be all 4 red or all 4 green. That's when you get your best trades, you get your best follow through. So we'll see what happens by the end of this broadcast. In the commodity basket, crude oil is down 13 cents, trading 69.03 last. Gold, thank goodness, up $17.60, trading 26.3220 last. Silver up 4 cents, trading 31.27 last. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei posted a gain of 193 points. The Shanghai rose 22. The Hang Seng gained 87. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE down 10. The DAX down 128. The CAC down 48. So we had a green day in Asia. It was a red day for the UK. And at the moment, it is a mixed Radio Tuesday here in the US of A. Let's take a peek at some news. Spirit Airlines has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, marking the first major U.S. airline bankruptcy in over a decade. The move follows a failed merger attempt with JetBlue Airways, which a federal judge blocked in January on antitrust grounds. The budget carrier, which has accumulated over $2.5 billion in debt since 2020, reported a loss of more than $335 million in the first half of 2024 and faces debt payments totaling more than $1 billion in 2025 and 2026. It has faced financial pressures due to the COVID-19 pandemic, rising fuel costs, labor shortages, increased competition, and an engine recall that grounded dozens of its jets. The filing is backed by existing bondholders with $350 million in equity investment, and it plans to convert $795 million of debt into stock. Additionally, the bondholders will provide $300 million in debtor-in-possession financing. Spirit aims to complete the restructuring process by the first quarter of 2025. The company's shares have fallen more than 90% year to date. If you like trading stocks and you're a bottom feeder, as it's called, any company of this size that has any hope of digging their way out, if their stock price is down 90% in a year, might be worth taking a look at. Not advising you to buy it, I'm just saying you might want to look at it. How many of you are on the dieting roller coaster? Fat tissues, or fat tissue cells, have a memory of obesity after dieting, with long-lasting changes to gene function. This new study may help explain why many people struggle to sustain long-term weight loss. Researchers analyzing fat tissue cells in humans and mice found epigenetic changes to the RNA of those with a history of obesity compared with control groups. Genes involved in metabolism for those individuals were turned off. Their fat cells also took in nutrients at a faster rate. After low-calorie diets, those with a history of obesity regained weight faster than their respective control groups. The study suggests a correlation, not necessarily causal tie, between the pace of weight regain and epigenetic markers for those with a history of obesity. These molecular differences remained even after stomach reduction and gastric bypass surgery, with no known mechanism to reverse them. Researchers suggest their findings may emphasize the value of prevention. Now, this is interesting, especially for any of our listeners in New York City. New York City's Transit Authority voted 12-1 yesterday to approve a first-in-the-nation daily toll on vehicles entering Manhattan's Central Business District, starting around January 5th. The revised proposal is expected to generate $15 billion to help modernize the city's 120-year-old transit system. So, in other words, if you live out in the suburbs and you want to drive your car into the city, you're going to have to pay a toll. Now, while that may seem crazy, that's been going on in London for, well, my first trip to London was 2004, and it was already enforced then. If you wanted, I think you had to pay like $100 a day if you wanted to drive your car into the city of London. Under the plan, most motorists with easy passes will pay $9 rather than an initially proposed $15 to enter Manhattan's busiest areas between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. each weekday and 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. on weekends. The fee is set to increase to $15 by 2031. Trucks with easy passes will be charged $14.40 during the same hours. So I'm telling you, 20 years ago, to drive your car into London costs $100. So what we're talking about here is, depending upon whether you have the easy pass, you'll pay $9 or $15. I guess that's not so bad. Wall Street isn't panicking, with known entity Jay Clayton as the new top cop. President-elect Donald Trump's choice of former SEC boss Jay Clayton to lead an office of prosecutors with a history of pursuing financial crime is notable for its complete lack of controversy, especially on Wall Street. The announcement that Clayton would serve as U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York came amid a string of other Trump nominations that attracted considerably more attention for their breaking of norms, including Matt Gaetz as Attorney General and Pete Hegseth as Defense Department Secretary. Now, for those of you that watch the TV series Billions, remember who the guy was? I'm trying to think of the actor's name, who served as the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. He's a really famous and very talented actor. Maybe it'll come to me. Clayton, on the other hand, is a well-respected, known entity, said white-collar crime defense attorney and former federal prosecutor Michael Weinstein. After he ran the SEC from 2017 to 2020, Clayton returned to the New York white shoe law firm Sullivan and Cromwell, where he currently advises on financial regulations and government investigations. Ukraine carried out their first strike on a border region in Russia using Western-supplied missiles as President Vladimir Putin approved an updated nuclear doctrine expanding the conditions for using atomic weapons. Folks, I not want to be a doomsday prophet or any kind of a conspiracy theorist, but you just might want to go to one of these prepper sites and figure out how you're going to protect your family in a worst case scenario. Now, I don't guess you need to go off the deep end. Some people, that's their whole life, prepping for that big day. But at least educate yourself. Ukraine deployed ATACMS missiles to strike a military facility in the western Bryansk region, according to Russia's defense ministry in a statement on Telegram. It was the first known attack following the decision by President Joe Biden's administration to approve Kiev's limited use of the weapons to hit targets inside Russia, just 2 months before Donald Trump takes over, promising to quickly end the war. And as I previously mentioned, Trump has made a public announcement that he would like for Putin and Zelensky to both call him. See, he's not in official capacity yet, but they have his digits and they can call him, and hopefully they will. Because as evil as some may consider Putin to be, I don't think he really wants to destroy the world. He'd like to take over the world, but I don't think he wants to destroy it. If you destroy it, there's nothing left to take over. Early results are in, and Wall Street strategists issuing 2025 forecasts see the S&P 500 rally chugging along over the next 12 months. But missing from their baseline calls is one of the most popular themes of the past 18 months: artificial intelligence. AI driving the market higher has been a hallmark of market calls dating back to the spring of 2023, when NVIDIA's first blowout earnings report of the cycle kickstarted a roaring bull market rally. On Monday, BMO Capital Markets chief investment strategist Brian Belsky initiated a 2025 year-end target of 6,700 for the S&P 500. Meanwhile, Morgan Stanley Chief Investment Officer Mike Wilson issued a 12-month target of 6,500. So AI losing its shine. From Bloomberg, Iran has agreed to stop producing uranium enriched close to the level required for nuclear weapons, a sign the Islamic Republic may be ready to resolve a standoff with the West over its atomic activities. Monitors from the International Atomic Energy Agency said today, that Iran has begun implementing measures aimed at stopping the increase of its stockpile, according to a 12-page report seen by Bloomberg News. The Islamic Republic's engineers have already taken the first steps necessary to cap output. As a result, oil futures promptly dropped roughly 50 cents following the report of Iran's restraint, trading little changed on the day. Would we say it was down 13 cents? That's pretty quiet for crude. And NVIDIA. Options traders, this is for you. Option traders are primed for a nearly $300 billion swing in NVIDIA's market value following the chipmaker's quarterly results on Wednesday. NVIDIA options implied an 8.5% swing for the shares in either direction following the results, which will be reported after markets close, according to data from options analytics service ORATS, O-R-A-T-S. So, all I can say is be careful out there. I mean, seriously. That's a big swing. What's so interesting is that we know how big the swing will be, or we think we do. We just don't know which direction it's going to swing. But hey, at least they're being honest. We freely admit we don't know what's going to happen next in the market. Nobody does. I know you get the emails. I know you go to the websites where they predict all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, nobody really knows what the market will do next. Despite all the indicators and oscillators and algorithms and fundamentals and everything else, no one can accurately predict the future. Not even AI. Now, some people can guess real good, but that's a big difference than actually knowing with certainty. And we have proof right here. Logic 247, that's our 24/7 around-the-clock E-mini alert service. It's not just E-minis, it's crude, gold, silver, bonds. We're currently in week 329, and over those 329 weeks, we've issued over 18,000 400 individual handcrafted alerts. And what we've averaged on a weekly basis is 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on market structure and a very simple process that we teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. This recap was done this morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Valerie will update it this afternoon. At the time of the recap, since the markets opened this past Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, we had issued a total of 29 alerts. 3 never triggered. Still waiting on the outcome of 11. That gave us 15 actionable alerts, of which 1 or 7% would have been stopped out. Again, based on market structure and that very simple process we teach all of our passport holders. Now, every logic alert has an entry price, an initial target designed to help you get your goal for the day, and then often additional targets and a final trade to target. Now, you can trade the alerts, okay? That's low-hanging fruit. But the real purpose of the alerts is to teach you how to read a chart. Because you need to start learning how to create your own alerts. The logic alerts, if you take that entry price, the initial target, the additional targets, and you draw horizontal lines on your chart, it will teach you over time, okay, where to expect support, where to expect resistance, and how to find those wonderful windows of opportunity that get you your goal for the day. Well, like I said, over 329 weeks, we've averaged on a weekly basis 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out. So, while you have the opportunity to learn how to read a chart, I can only suggest that you take advantage of it. Long before, now the logic alerts can come out anytime around the clock, 2 a.m., 2 p.m. as opportunity presents. But our original alert service, the concierge trade alerts, they're different. They don't come out around the clock, for one. And they are simply targets, okay? I say simply, we'll see how simply it is when we go to the charts. Now, if you're a member or trial member, make sure you read this and understand this. If you don't understand something, you got to ask. We'll give you an answer. So we're in the Tuesday session, but it began last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's when the Globex session opened. Every one of our members and every one of our trial members had every one of these targets last night, right when the markets opened. S&P 500, the Dow, the Russell, crude oil, the NASDAQ, gold, silver, and bonds. So keep that in mind as we make our way to the charts right now. We'll start where we always do with the daily chart of the S&P 500 E-mini futures. Now, it's been an interesting session. As you recall, we made the retracement back to the BBC and the 38% fib extension. And then yesterday was a kind of go nowhere day. And then overnight last night, we sold off real pretty. Now yesterday, or Friday, basically we ran into this previous bullish cross. And last night we spiked it by a little bit, okay? But now look where price is. So that bounce that we were expecting off the BBC, remember I said yesterday, that's not much of a bounce. I even wrote about it in the discussion group last night on Telegram. So we had a huge red candle, but it reversed this morning, and now it's headed for resistance at the step line and the 50% fib extension. Notice that blue and climbing is arcing over. Remember how we talked about the rounding top that was coming, and we got? Okay, as this circles over, it's going to become red and falling. That's bearish. So if price can get up to this area or this area, we might get another day or two before this turns red. But once this turns red, then you should expect downward pressure on the market. Okay? So resistance is at the daily step line, then the 50% fib extension, and then blue and climbing because it's now directly above price, and the 62% fib extension. Support is at the low of today, then the 24% fib extension, and then the 24% fib retracement, which also should give us a nice bounce when we get there. The daily chart is important, and let me tell you why. I don't trade it. I doubt you trade it. But institutional traders, they look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Why? It has to do with account size. You see, they have these huge accounts where they trade in incredible size. They are the ones who literally move price. You and I were just liquidity. But that's okay. You can still make money being liquidity. But you need to be aware of the bigger picture. So whether you trade futures or stocks, crypto or Forex or ETFs, I encourage you to spend 2 minutes every trading day before you start trading eyeballing the daily chart of whatever you're about to trade. Not only so you can look over the shoulder of the deep pockets and see what they're doing, but you can identify these areas of resistance and support that you can't see on your smaller time frames. If you do that for a month, I think you'll come to me and say, hey, thanks for that tip. It really helped me. Now, all alerts are created on the 30-minute chart. These are this week's weekly trading zones. Okay. Once the zones are published, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They come out Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. And again, once they're published, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change in any way whatsoever. When price drops to a weekly zone, we expect support. When price rallies up to a weekly zone, we expect resistance until proven otherwise. Now see, yesterday as we pulled down to this zone, it was support. The vertical line separates today Tuesday from Monday. Back over here is Friday. So these zones were not in place last Friday. But the market structure is still important because if price continues to climb, we have to look all the way back to Friday to see where we're likely to find resistance. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I put out some long alerts this morning that embrace that. Okay. Now, this high yesterday, the Monday high, was exactly 59.33. Today's high was 59.33.75. So we got 3 ticks higher. Okay. When we put in a new high or a new low by a few ticks or even a few points, we're very suspicious. We want to see price prove itself. And sure enough, that double top sent the market reeling. Okay. Now, this was the London Open right here. 3 o'clock, pretty quiet. 3:30, things started heating up. You see this candle spiked the zone, but then closed above it. That zone is 59.14/59.15. The next candle opened green and pulled up to the BBC. Now the green line, the BBC, you can put it on any time frame. Markets are fractal in nature. Stands for bull-bear cross. When price crosses above the green line, we're bullish, expect higher prices. When price gets below the green line, we're bearish, we expect lower prices. The good news is the pullback to the BBC holds more often than not, whether it's pulling from below or pulling down from above. The pullback holds more often than it doesn't, whatever time frame you're operating on, but always relative to the time frame you're working on. Okay, so we opened last night right here, and the targets went out the second the markets open. And so an hour and a half into trading, we ran up to 59.23 half. So we missed the target by 2 ticks, but plenty of room to get your goal for the day. Now, when the market runs into resistance, it will go look for support. Remember, the pullback holds more often than it doesn't. It held there. Oh, it held there. It held there. And it held there. This took us up to the target and through the target to put in the high of the session, which was only 3 ticks higher than yesterday. Then the bottom fell out. We dropped, recovered, ran up to the BBC, the pullback held, and that sent us all the way down to the short target. Now, this candle opened at 59.15 and it dropped to 58.85. It's about 30 points. At $50 a point, it's $1,500 per contract traded in that 30-minute candle. Then the market found support. Bounced it up to the BBC, the pullback held, and that sent us all the way down to the zone at 58.63/64. We spiked it a little bit, but quickly recovered. And then it's been green candle after green candle after green candle. Now, when price encounters a weekly trading zone, 70% of the time you're going to get consolidation. 20% of the time you'll get rejection. So consolidation can look a number of different ways, but expect congestion. 20% of the time you'll get rejection, and 10% of the time you'll get what's called the slice. That's when a 30-minute candle slices through a zone like it wasn't even there. This 30-minute candle sliced through this zone like it wasn't even there. But when it ran out of steam, it retraced back to the zone it is sliced through, and then price continued in the direction of the slice. Again, consolidation, and bang, we hit the long target again. So we hit the long target, hit the long target, hit the short target, hit the short target again, and now we've hit the long target again. And this high $59.32.25 versus $59.33.75. So things not looking so good. Price is getting rejected up in this area. Okay. Now, in order for price to retrace to the BBC, the step line, because it's directly below price, could act as support. If it doesn't, then the zone could become support. If it doesn't, then blue and climbing becomes support. And if it doesn't, then the BBC becomes support. And remember, the pullback holds more often than not, whether you're pulling down from above or pulling up from below. On the Dow. Now remember, when I gave you the numbers from around the world, the only one in the red was the Dow at that time. This is today, Tuesday. The vertical line separates Monday. Back over here is last week. Yesterday, we basically went from zone to zone to zone. And then here's where we opened last night. Everybody had the targets. We're consolidating along the BBC. But once red and falling turned to blue and climbing, boom, ran right up to the long target. And then these highs right here are these highs right here. Resistance sends the market to support. Support sends us to resistance at red and falling. Red and falling takes us through the BBC all the way down to the target and to the zone. Look at that, to the tick. Support will send the market looking for resistance, which will then send the market looking for support, which it found and consolidated for hours here at this weekly zone. And we caught a little bounce, but that was a head fake, because then we got this. Now, the lowest weekly zones way down here. So we bounced back up. Now, I've mentioned this many times, but I'll say it again. Once price travels through one of the targets, when price returns to that target, if it does, like here, okay, see how in the first candle it was like support, now it's like resistance, because you got the target and you've got the weekly zone. So price is trying to break through that weekly zone. If it does, watch this right here, 43,510. It's a bearish cross. That's when the red line gets below the green line. When you have a bearish cross that leads to an extended move, the first time price revisits that area will almost always be good resistance. The opposite is true of a bullish cross, just in the other direction. On the Russell, here's where we open, consolidated for quite a few hours along the weekly trading zone. Then we dropped to the short target, bounced, resistance, took us all the way down here. You can go left, look left and see why. That support sent us to resistance. Resistance sent us to support. We got a zone down here at 2280/81. That low's 82.5. And that sent us all the way back up to this zone where we consolidated for so long overnight. And we tapped the long target. So Michael's here. We'll pick up with the NQ when I come back. We'll finish all of the alerts. We'll recap each and every one of them. We still have the NQ, crude, gold, and silver. And then I'll wrap things up with our good word for the day. But now Michael is going to give us a recap of what happened in the live training room this morning, and then do some live trading on the TradingView platform for about half an hour.
Yes, indeed. All right.
Okay, looks good.
All right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 19th day of November, 2024. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. Click on the purple button right here. There is no credit card required for this trial. All right. No credit card required for the trial. Click on that. It's going to bring you to this registration page where all that we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number down here at the bottom. If you're using NinjaTrader, give us your machine ID. If you're using TradingView, give us your login ID. Okay. That's all you need to do. Once you do that, click the register button and we'll know that you took the free trial, get your indicators indicating for you, and you'll get everything you need to get into the room in the morning to be with us. All right. Now, here. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today, as I said, is the 19th day of November 2024. Today we're up 94 ticks on the NQ, 10 ticks on the Russell. We were minus 10 on gold and didn't trade the YM today. And we're plus 30 on the ES. That put us at plus 795 in the morning session. Today it took 21 minutes and 7 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $1,210, and we took a total of 16 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $5,062 over 13 business days, averaging $389 per contract per 2-hour business day. On the year, now we're at $105,432 over 217 business days, averaging $485 per contract per 2-hour business day. Yes, if you were going to follow the 24/20 blueprint, you would add one contract for every $2,000 that you earn in profit and stop trading when you get the goal for the day, the goal being $100 per contract. However you get that $100, it could be a combination of things. It could be just one thing. However you get that $100 amount, the amount in this column, which is a total of all the other columns, has to be 100. However you get there, stop trading. All right. If you were to do that so far this year, you would have only had to work 64.85 hours if you did it along with me, and you would be averaging $2,918 per hour for those 64.85 hours. Right. All right. Now, let's get into the trades we took. I think this is the last one. I think this is the last one. So let me just get rid of this one. Okay, I'll go with this one. We had some alerts that we set this morning that went off during the break, but this right here was our only trade on gold today, and we stopped out on that one. All right, we had just one trade with a minus 10. You can see it went sideways here for a little while. It did give another trade in here that I missed. Right through here, I missed that one. That one would work out to be a break even probably. It gave another trade right here that I missed also. That would have stopped me out. And the next trade it gave was right here. That would have been profitable. And it didn't give another one during the morning session. Actually, it might have gone through here. Hang on. Let's go all the way through. And the ribbon's all crunched up. There might have been right here. Yeah, one right there. That would have been a stop out. Right there would have been profitable. And then you get into the break. During the break, there was nothing. Actually, there was one right here. Sorry, there was one right there. That would have been a break-even trade, right? And that sets us up for where we are right now. Thanks, D. Okay, and on the ES, we had a few trades on the ES. We did well with the ES today. Now let me move this down like this. There was one trade we took on the ES that I faded, just to show the Sierra charts working. Uh-oh. This is not showing. I closed the one that had all the ES trades on it. Crap. All right, well, anyway, I'll tell you what the ES trades were. We had 4 of them. The first one was plus 12. The second one was plus another 12. That got us to 24. The one after that was plus 2, it looks like. That got us to plus 26. And the one after that was plus 4. That got us to 30. You can see the S was just in a nice trend right here. So it was pretty easy to see where the trades were. We started out, the first one was a plus 12. I think it was way over here. Might have been in here, but it was a plus 12 trade. And then we didn't trade until it started moving up. And then we had 3 more trades in there. And during the break, as it continued this move up right here, I believe we got plus 4 on that one. And then there was another good trade right there where it came out of the oversold. Not one, out of the oversold. Another one right there where it came out of the oversold. Another one right here that you would have been looking for a break even on that one. And then it turned around, kind of got sideways, didn't really give you anything through there. It didn't give you anything through here until you get all the way back over here. Give you one more long trade right there that just barely put in a higher swing. So you really wouldn't be looking for anything. But we ended up with plus 30 on the ES today. All right, did I just jump right over the Russell? I think I did just jump right over the Russell. We only had a couple of trades on the Russell. All right, if we go back to the beginning, this doesn't have all my stuff in it. All right, well, on the Russell, we had 1 break even and 1 plus 10. That was all that we had on the Russell. I think the plus 10 was a bullish trade. So was the break even. It was early on. I think we had a break even on that one and like a plus 10 right in here somewhere. And that was all we did with the Russell. There were a bunch more trades, you can see, but none that I have marked or that I took. During the break, let's see, there was one trade here during the break that worked out to be pretty well. One here, another good one, but it didn't put in a higher swing. Things started to turn down, but the ribbon just got all crunched up and you couldn't do anything all through that junk there until all the way over here. A long trade right there, and that just barely put in a higher swing. It's got nothing right now. That was the Russell. Now the NQ, I probably don't have all my NQ trades either. I have some of them. Okay, well, we started, it looks like I got all the NQ trades on here. I don't know how I ended up not having all the other ones, but okay, so we started out on the NQ right here with a plus 4, and then we stopped out right there. That put us at minus 32, and then we picked up a little bit on that. That got us another plus 4 that got us to minus 28. And then I think I picked up 12 there that got us to minus 16. Then we had a break even. Then we had a stop out there that got us to minus 52. Okay, if I open this up some more, we're at minus 52 on the NQ at that point. Then we had a few good trades. We had a plus 48 that got us to minus 4. Then we had another plus 48 that got us to plus 44. Then we had a plus 12 that got us to plus 66. And then we had another plus 48, I think. 66 up to 94. It's not 48. 30, 28. Looks like 28. Got us up to 94. And that, I think, is where we ended up for the morning session trading. There was some stuff in here, some more stuff in here, but I wasn't, we had to get a higher swing from this one right here. Need to put in a higher swing. I didn't catch that and didn't put in a higher swing, so you can do these others. There's one right here that I didn't get. One right here that I didn't get. And then we get into the break. Now, during the break, it doesn't look like it gave all that much up here during the break. One trade right here, I guess that wouldn't have done anything. That would have stopped you out. Yeah, not really anything during the break. So it ended up getting kind of choppy and sideways. We didn't start out great with the NQ, but we ended pretty well with it. And there were some more trades after we did get those good trades in it. There were some more trades that triggered that were nice gains. Now let me bring up the question box and see if there are any questions in here at this point. No, not yet. Okay, and that's it. So now we can get into some trading. Now, let me say this for anybody that's coming in on the live stream right now. If you haven't taken a free trial, let's go here to mytradingiq.com. Click on the purple button right here. There's no credit card required for the trial. Just click on that purple button. It's going to bring you here to the registration page. Just fill out this form. All right, once you fill out that form, you'll be sent everything you need to get into the room in the morning. And if you give us down here at the bottom, give us your TradingView login ID, then we'll get your indicators indicating for you as well. If you have a Ninja Trader, you can give us that ID as well. We'll get those indicators working for you, but they're not going to have all the indicators. They're going to have a great set of indicators that worked well for us for over a decade, but it's not going to have this one down here, which is the latest, the key to get you into the trades. All right, the one that's going to trigger you right into the trades at the best time. All right, so now we can trade. Well, I hope we can trade. We really don't have anything to trade right here. You see how the ribbons are all flat? That one, and that one. Over here on the gold, the ribbon is not really flat. It's kind of spread out a little bit. If we got an up close and then followed it up with a down close, I think it would spread it out some more. But hang on. There's the up close we're looking for, and now we need it to give us a down close. You see how the ribbon got spread out a little bit more? If we were to get a down close now, it would spread it out even more. Even if you get an up close followed by a down close, it would be okay, I think. So what you're looking for right here, right now, on this particular bar, we have the high right here of 32.2. because it's a 19, this is a 9 range. Because it's a 9 range, you're going to be selling 10 ticks below the top of the bar. All right, that's going to be at 31.2 right there. Why? Well, because it's a 9 range. So if the top is right here at 32.2 right there, the 9 ticks below that is right here at 31.3. So when it closes down at 31.3, we're going to want to fill us here at 31.2, expecting to get down here to 29.9 at the very least. To get down to right there. Okay, that's what we anticipate from the trade. These other markets are just completely flat, so I don't anticipate anything from those guys. If you go all the way out here and Bitcoin, new highs, just about all new highs again right now. Looks like those are all new, right? I think so. And this just went up some more over here. So the high of this bar is now all the way up here at 32.4. So you'll be looking at 31.4 now. Okay, oops, 1.4. Yeah, cancel on all that. Be selling 31.4 like that right now. All right. Why 2 ES charts? I have 2 ES charts going. I don't know what I did with this one. This should be the Russell chart. Maybe that's why I couldn't find any of my Russell things on there. Let's have a look at this. Let me blow up the Russell chart really quick. Okay, so what are we up to right now? 2.7. Okay, 1.7. Does it have my Russell trade in here? My 2 Russell trades. There they are. Is that today? That is today. I drew all that in there today? Yes, I did. It was part of the lesson plan, I think. All right. Well, we'll go to the end. It doesn't show the 2 trades that I took. But thank you for pointing that out, Steve. All right, so the high of this is still up here at 32.7, so we're still going to be selling 31.7 on this. This is going really, really slow. The minimum that it should do is get down to here, but let's take a look at the bigger picture on this gold right now and see what we're actually in for. All right, now, I almost hope it doesn't actually fail and it goes up instead of down, because the way that this looks to me right now is, bang, this is a 50% retracement. It just filled us on the down close. Now, what I want it to do is get all the way back down here, all right? But from a bigger picture perspective, it's already done the retracement and it should be going up from here, not down. Okay, but we're going to trade what's in front of us and just go with what this is. And on a 9-tick range, it has to get 5 ticks in profit. I should have a 15-tick stop, a 15-tick stop. And that is 15 right there. A 15-tick stop, and I move my stop to break even after 5 ticks in profit from a 9-tick range. Okay. But what it should do is another leg up like this right now. The bigger picture stuff. It should go from here all the way up to there. Now, we're trading what's in front of us, all right? Because that's what we do. From a bigger picture, that's what it should do. Now, it might still push down right here and get us down to the swing low, because that's what it's suggesting it's going to do right now, is get down to the swing low right here. And if it does, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. That'd be enough to get the goal for the day, which I've already gotten several times over. But see these numbers right down here at 30.8 and 30.7? They're right here. That's what the Dom is suggesting it wants to go down to. The Dom is also suggesting it wants to go up to here, though. So we'll just have to wait and see what it does. All right. Trade what's in front of you. And that's what we did. These other markets are starting to move a little bit. The Russell is on a 7 range. We'll put that back on 19 range. And the ES is on a 7 range. That's right. The NQ, the Bitcoin. Let me bump the Bitcoin off again. Okay, get back here. So we just have the NQ, the ES, the Russell, and the gold. It just occurred to me. I'm just going to let it go. So we anticipate this is going to get down to 29.9, all the way down there. 29.9 is what it should be at. This is a 45 tick profit target right here that automatically gets put on. Or a 25, I'm sorry. I think. We'll just put it right there at 29.9. That would be 17 ticks if it gets down there. No, that'd be, 17 ticks. All right. We need 5 ticks in profit to bump this stop. It's got to get right down to here to bump that stop to break even. It should get down there. We should see at least that on this trade. Okay. Just following the rules, trading what's in front of us. Tomorrow is leg length day. Toby, are you in here right now? I thought I saw you in there earlier. Nope, he's not here anymore. Okay, well, tomorrow is leg length day. That's one of my favorite days to go over stuff. All right, so all right, so we have nothing happening here yet. Still not gone into profit. Go back in here. This came out of the oversold. We don't really have a very good trend going on here on the ES right now, but it came out of the oversold. You could take that trade if you wanted to. It's just not a strong trend. You know, we barely have a higher swing, like 1 tick higher swing. I'm gonna let it go. The NQ, you have similar things going on here with the NQ. It's barely got a higher swing right here. It needs to pull back, get into the oversold before you get an actual trade trigger though. Okay. There was something else I was going to show you. I showed you this morning, right? Hang on, let me get it back up here. Showed you this morning. This is Sierra charts. Yeah, Sierra charts right here. Sierra chart DOM. So I'll take this ES trade on a Sierra chart DOM. Okay. So I'm long right here. This is a live market right now. I'm long right here. You see it put on the brackets for me and everything. And this shows what the current value of it is. And now this is how, you know, you drag your stop up like you normally would. I'm just going to drag my stop up, put it at break even right there. Okay. So this is live. So you can see how quickly the Sierra charts live markets react. Okay, so we're in this trade right here, and we're anticipating it's going to get up to here to 933. So I'll put my target right up there at 933. And you see as it's going up right here, I'll lock in 1 tick. It's showing right here what we are at right now in the open position. Okay, I'll lock in 2 ticks on this. And 3 ticks on this. And you can see we're expecting it's going to get up to here, right? The swing high. So I'll lock in 4 ticks on this. What I want you to see is how quickly, once it triggers, how quickly it works. Okay, the whole moving up and down thing like that kind of bugs me a little bit. You got to spread it out so you see what it's actually at. But that's the equivalent of the color changes right here. You see that? That's the equivalent. So there, it just gave me all that right there. I just made all that on the ES, and that was a live trade. That was Sierra charts. This is what I'm likely to be going to here in the near future when we no longer have this to use. this is what I'm going to be using, right? Just so you guys can see it and get used to seeing me using it. Now, you don't have to use this. This actually costs a little bit of money to use, whereas the alternative, the CQG alternative, is free. And this is a little bit complicated to hook up, but you can see how easy it is to use, and how much like this it is. It's just like this, right? And that was a little micro, but it was still a live micro that we just picked up, whatever that was. 6 or 8 ticks on. Let's see. It doesn't actually say over here. I know there's some place that's got a history of the trades that I took. This is the gold trade that we put on a few minutes ago that we're still waiting on. Okay. You go here and here. It looks like we're going to stop out on that. And we did stop out on the gold. All right. Well, that did not work out in our favor. 31.8 down to 31.4. It only went 4 ticks into profit. It needed to go 5 ticks into profit to bump the stop to break even. We did take profit on this one over here. The NQ right now looks like it's going to pull back down. Just pull back down and hit right there. Now, there is something that is not happening correctly over here. There it is. All right. Well, we stopped out pretty much to the tick on that. It looks like it is going to go down. I don't know when it's going to go down, but I was afraid it was going to go up. If it doesn't go down right here, this is where it should go up to when it does change directions. The ES just barely put in a little bit higher swing on that, so we don't really have anything going on there. The NQ needs to get into the oversold to give us a trade opportunity over there, and hasn't done that yet. So that's what we're waiting on. Okay, that is what we are waiting on right now. All right. Let me All right, well, I just don't see the trades coming in right here. We came out of the oversold again, but right here, we really didn't put in a higher swing. We didn't continue the trend. We came out of the oversold here, but we're too close to the prior swing high. And this needs to put in a lower swing. So I really don't have any trades here right now. Does anybody have any questions? Want me to go over anything? I'm going to cover that Sierra chart look again. See what you need to see about this. See how we have all these buttons here on the DT Pro right now? You have the exit at market, reverse it, market, and cancel. Break even, the cancel all, cancel bids, buy market, sell market, go to last. In here, if you right click, you have all the same things, except break even. You don't have break even in here, but you have all the same things in here. Okay, and actually a little bit more. This is Sierra charts, and this costs $36 a month to use. But it is really simple to put orders on like that. And you saw how quickly they execute. And that's what I'm going to be going to here as we move forward. Okay. All right. Slide that back over here. We're just waiting for trades. We don't have anything yet. Okay, we want strong trends, and we just don't have any right now. I'd go look at the YM, but there's not really that much of a point to it. Let's look at the crude oil right here on this chart. Because I like to see the crude on a look at the leading crude contract. I like to see the crude on a 9 range when I watch crude. All right, so this was this morning on a 9 range. There was some fast movement right there. I don't know what happened in there, but I guess trade there, then nothing after. Then a trade here that would have worked out, just barely put in a lower swing. Trade here that would have worked out. A trade there that would have worked out. And the ribbon got crunched. And a trade there that would have worked out. A trade there that would have worked out. Nothing there. A trade right there that would have been break even. A trade here that would have worked out. So it's had some decent trades today. The crude oil did. I don't know why the markets are so slow today. There really is no news events today. Nothing after the initial stuff. But if you look in here, let's see what we have for tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow, do we have anything high impact tomorrow? No. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims is listed as high impact. Friday, we have some high impact stuff coming out. S&P Global Composite, all this stuff coming out on Friday. So we do have some high impact stuff coming out on Friday. So we got that to look forward to. Just waiting here. The NQ. Now it's going to give us another up close here. This last one. The last one right here. Put in like a 1 tick higher swing. This has got the same problem the last one did. We're too close to the swing high. I don't want to take a trade that is that close to the swing high. Right. All right. So that is it. We're just waiting. Don't have any more trades yet. All right, this needs to pull back deeper or go up further and then pull back. The ES trade, I like the ES trade better from this far back. But you see that one right there, it really didn't put in a higher swing, so you're really not trending. That's why I didn't want to take this last one right here, because it's really not trending. Waiting. Now we're getting a little bit higher swing here on the NQ. That's what we wanted. We want to go up quite a bit higher. Maybe get a little bit more life in this market, in all of these markets right now. This is much quieter than it normally is at this time. David V. That wasn't okay. Jerome. Just say your name. Okay, thanks, Phil. All right. So, wait. I'd get a little tiny bit higher swing on that. Now I want a deeper pullback. Get some space in between the entry and the swing high. That's what we want to see there. On the yes, we want to see get up above this level, put in a higher swing, and then pull back. I think we're going to run out of time. We only have about 3 minutes left. So I think we're actually going to run out of time here, but we'll wait it out. We will wait it out and see. Okay. All right, now this right here, what that suggests is that on 100 tick range, we just get into the overbought. All right, so on 100 tick range, which is really bullish right now, it's showing that we just went from not overbought to overbought right here, which suggests it's going to pull back at least one candle, probably several candles. And this is a 100 tick range candle, so it's going to pull back 100 ticks. From here, probably 2 candles, so 200 ticks to get it down here into the oversold. That's what that suggests, right? So when you go back here to your 31 range, you'll be looking at 2, possibly 3 candles down. This is 1. So you'd have another one and then another one. We'll get us down here to the BBC. So that would be optimal. That would be great if it does happen, all right? We don't know that it's going to happen, but if it does happen, that's what we'd be looking for right there. Okay. All right. So that's what we're waiting for, this move down here right now. Okay. In the meantime, we don't have anything happening here or here, and this needs to put in a higher swing. Okay. There it is. There it is. I don't know why I didn't get that. Still waiting for that pullback. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to wrap it up. I hear Dwayne's there, so it is time to wrap it up anyway. So we had one trade here on the yes that worked out, one trade here on the gold that didn't. This is crude oil now, but on the gold, we'll go back to the gold. So that's where we left it. The Z gold. All right, and it did eventually go down, just not from where we had taken the trade back here. All right, went a little bit in, then it pulled back, and then it did go down. It didn't put in the lower swing though. But either way, if you haven't taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. and click the purple button. There's no credit card required for the trial. Click that purple button and you'll be sent to this registration link. Fill it out, give us your information down here, and we will get your indicators indicating and get you into the room in the morning. Sorry it was so dry today, but it is what it is. We'll pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
Yes, I am. Recap of the morning session.
Today it took 21 minutes and 7 trades to get to $1,210.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll pick up where we left off, guys, with the NQ. This was the open last night, right above the weekly trading zone. So we consolidated for a bit, couple hours, and then we closed above the BBC. We have the perfect stack: price, step line, BBC, blue and climbing, BBC, and it took us right up to the long target. And this high right here is the top of that body right there. Resistance will always send the market looking for support, which it found at the BBC, and it bounced it up to resistance at red and falling. And red and falling first pushed it down through the zone. Now that's a slice. Remember, 70% of the time consolidation, 20% of the time rejection, 10% of the time the slice. So we sliced through. When it ran out of steam, it retraced all the way back above. And then the second candle, okay, this time it sliced. And when it ran out of steam, it retraced to the zone it sliced through and put in this low here, which is the very bottom of where this indicator turned up on Friday. Okay, this is today, Tuesday, Monday, Friday. Okay, so market structure came into play, and boom, there's support. Now support will send the market looking for resistance, which it found at the BBC, sent it back down to support at blue and climbing. That support sent us up to and through the zone, to the target, through the target. And now we're just barely above 27.30. Yesterday's high was 27.24. Next area for resistance, got to look all the way back to Friday, 27.73. Okay. Now, I would not go long until 27.50, and I would trade it up to 27.60. That's $200 per contract traded. Okay, that's all the indices. Crude oil. This is where we opened last night. Below the zone. Price is trapped. It's got resistance overhead, support below. So we consolidate for hours right at the zone. Remember, that's what happens 70% of the time. And then we get a dip off the London Open. Okay, when the London Open sent several markets lower. Okay, we consolidated along here, made another valiant attempt to get to the long target, but crude has been very quiet today. Michael mentioned that just a few minutes ago. I mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast that crude was down like 13 cents on the day, which is, practically nothing for crude. So it's been up, it's been down, and what's it doing? It's doing what it did at the beginning of the session. It's just hugging that weekly trading zone. It's like a magnet. The closer price gets to a zone, the more likely that it's going to hit the zone. Okay, but right now we got the BBC below price, we got the zone overhead, we got red and falling overhead that just turned red. So this is stagnant. What would I do here? Nothing. Now, if you want to wait a bit, 69.60 to 69.70, that would give you your goal for the day. And if price chooses to drop, 68.95 to 68.85, that would give you your goal for the day. So no matter which way it goes, you've got a trade opportunity, a nice window of opportunity. Just need it to stop going flat. Now, the fact that balloon climbing has just turned red, that's got me thinking that we may dip back below the BBC. And so you'd be availing yourself of that short window of opportunity. So you got a short window here. And you got a long window here. And by the time we have our broadcast tomorrow, let me be bold enough to suggest one of these two windows will have filled. Okay. All right. On the goal. Goal's above the highest weekly trading zone on a Tuesday. So are we in for another massive sell-off? It's possible. Historically, whenever price reaches the highest or lowest weekly trading zone by a Tuesday morning, going back almost 15 years, the largest percentage of the time, by the end of the week, price will be at the other end of the spectrum. Is that 100% guaranteed? Nope. Don't know very many things that are 100% guaranteed in the world of trading. Except important prices, important areas are almost always tested. See how we tested the zone, we tested the zone. Just had a bearish cross. The price is flat here. Okay. So you got a high, you got a lower high. So it has me thinking that it's potentially going to drop rather than pop. Although if red and falling turns to blue and climbing, then you could come up here and you could trade 26.38 to 26.39, and that would give you, or to 26.40, that would be $200 per contract traded. Silver, a wonky day there. Here's where we opened last night above the BBC. Red and falling, turned to blue and climbing, took us right up to the target. Only takes 2 pennies to get your goal for the day. This candle opened at 31.26 and it hit a high of 31.35. It's $450 per contract traded in that one 30-minute candle. So then we got a leg and a retracement, the pullback held. A leg and a retracement, the pullback held. And then we ended up with a head and shoulders. Here's the head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Where's the neckline? Right there. And it did what you expect it to do. When it found support off this low right here from yesterday, see this low? That's that double bottom right there. Support sends us up to resistance at the BBC, which is now sent us back down. But notice that red and falling is curling like it wants to become blue and climbing. So be cautious. Let price prove itself. Let it get up here, 31.45 to 31.50. That's $250 per contract traded. Or let it get down. Let it get down in here. Something like 30.95 down to 30.90. 5 pennies, 2 pennies is $100. Okay. One last look at the daily. We know where potential resistance is at the step line. Above that, 50% fib extension. Balloon climbing is directly above price, so that makes it potential resistance. Now, if we close here or near here, we'll probably get another day of blue up here. If, on the other hand, we were to sell off into the close, okay, then when the markets reopen tonight, you'll probably have red and falling up here. We came so close to the 24% fib retracement and the 24% fib extension. Amazing how close those two are together. Now remember, this bullish cross right here served as good support on Friday. Monday was a nothing day. Tuesday, or today, we had a big red candle right down to there. And now look where we are. To learn how to trade, that's what you want to do. Send an email to support@cfrn.net. In the subject line, simply put, I would like to become a member. In the body, you can put your name, phone number. But what will happen is Valerie will send you an email chock full of information and a link that you can click to become a passport holder. As a passport holder, you get 2 hours of live training every trading day. Private one-on-one mentoring at no additional charge. The strategy you learn, the indicators you own as a passport holder are fluid across all markets and all time frames. Futures, stocks, crypto, Forex, ETF, doesn't matter. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. From support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over again and again, as I've just shown you over the past 2 hours. Also, as a passport holder, you get the Logic 247 alerts around the clock. You get the concierge trade alerts every evening, the second they're published. Every Monday morning, you'll get the weekly trading zones at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. And you'll be able to attend the members only workshop every Thursday night. You also get around the clock support via Telegram. And you get the golden key that opens all the private channels in Telegram. So send that email today. We'll get you all wired up today. And you too will be one of the few who at least have a chance at succeeding. No more grumpy gurus. No more worthless indicators and oscillators. This isn't about a magic trick or a parlor trick. This is about actually learning how to trade. And before you learn how to trade, you're going to have to learn how to read a chart. You got to know where to expect support, resistance. You got to know how to find windows of opportunity. It's all part of the training. Just send that email today. Support@cfrn.net in the subject line. I'm ready to become a member. And Valerie will take very good care of you. Now, our good word for today, they started this yesterday. What to do when you're under attack? Well, today's part 2. John 5:4. And this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. 1 John 5:4. Adversity is often the enemy's attempt to rob you of the next season of God's blessing in your life. If you're under attack today, you need to do these 3 things. Number 1, rise up and fight back. You'll be tempted to withdraw or become timid and passive. Hang on 1 second, sorry. Sorry about that. You'll be tempted to withdraw or become timid and passive, especially if you've been hurt. But don't do it. A wounded animal just invites attack. Satan loves shy, fearful types, but real fighters intimidating. So be bold and claim the promise of James 4:7. Resist the enemy and he will flee from you. Use all your weapons. The Bible says the weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. 2 Corinthians 10:4. Prayer is a weapon. Use it daily. And join in prayer with others. One person alone can't multiply faith. Increase begins when 2 people get together. Matthew 18:19. Make sure you know the intercessors in your life because they have influence with God. Scripture is also a weapon, so use it. Take it, the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Ephesians 6:17. Find out what God's Word says about your situation and then use it like a sword to cut the enemy's head off. And number 3, try to see the big picture. Few things are ever as they first appear. So look beyond the moment and see if something good is being birthed in you. After adversity comes blessing and favor. So get your eyes back on the big picture. Paul, who suffered relentless attacks, said this in 2 Corinthians 4:17. Our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. Bottom line, you can win. And that's our good word for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.